Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
Excuse me.
It's another potential triple threat of viruses. The flu, COVID-19, and RSV. All three may hit the U.S. together this fall, but this year there's a vaccine for all of them. When to get them varies based on age.
If you're under the age of 60, before Halloween, you should get your flu shot. Late September for COVID, that's when that new booster is expected to come out. It is not an exact match for what is currently dominantly circulating in the country, but it's still good protection, especially for people who are vulnerable.
The U.S. is already seeing an uptick in COVID-19 cases, although it's still unclear exactly how many cases, as fewer tests are being taken. There are patches of the country in red, with a more significant increase in hospitalizations, a few states with numbers going down, and others staying stable. Still, COVID-19 hospital admissions are lower than in years past.
The numbers are going up, but August of this year right now is about a quarter of what August of last year was.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say if you test positive for COVID-19, isolate for 5 days. On day 6, isolation can end if symptoms improve. The agency does recommend masking until there are 2 negative tests taken 48 hours apart.
It's a little complicated, but really the first 5 days, that's when you're most infectious. That's when you should stay home.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
TheAdvocateChannel.com looks at the world through the lens of equality and inclusion. Subscribe, like, and share now. AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
If anyone does still need to be convinced about women's football, they just have to look at the hard and fast facts, the numbers of what have played out here in Australia and New Zealand over the last 4 weeks. The sense of pride and excitement over what has been achieved has been hard to escape here on the ground, and rightly so. 1.9 million fans have attended matches. That's over 500,000 more than the target that was set. China's match against England produced the highest reach for a single match anywhere in the world. 53.9 million viewers. 750,000 fans attended the fan festivals in host countries, the first time they've ever had them at a Women's World Cup. And for the first time, the Women's World Cup as a tournament has broken even, with revenues generated of $570 million. The first ever Matilda's captain, Julie Dolan, told a story at the draw on the stage for this tournament back in October about how she and her teammates had to bake cakes and sell them to raise money to buy their football kits. She's not been able to believe what she has seen play out. Beyond her wildest dreams is how she has put it, and that is even before you get to the football. In many ways, it has felt like a changing of the guard, bidding farewell to some of the icons of the game that have done so much, fought so hard to get it to where it is today. The likes of Brazil's martyr, Megan Rapinoe, Christine Sinclair, allowing the next generation now to step up and shine. Colombia's teen sensation, Linda Caicedo, Spain's Selma Paralluelo. Now, there had been skepticism about raising the number of teams taking part from 24 to 32 relatively quickly, given the development of the game. But Morocco produced 2 wins on their debut and knocked out Germany from the competition. Nigeria beat Canada. Portugal were just a post away from knocking out the USA. And we had 2 teams in Spain and England reaping the rewards of investment in their games and domestic leagues. 2 first-time finalists leading the way, now being talked about as the standard bearers for the rest. Tellingly though, both still have their battles ongoing. The question marks over the methods of Spain coach Jorge Vilda, England's fight with their football association over commercial payments and bonuses, alongside the likes of Jamaica, Nigeria, and so many other claims for what is right, not just special favours, just equality at other federations and in other areas across the game. We've had just a taste of what can happen when this beautiful game and its players get just a fraction of the investment and attention they deserve. Just imagine what the 2027 Women's World Cup will bring if everyone gets on board.
Like the Advocate channel on Facebook for the best way to get updates on stories that advocate for equality, justice, our rights, and more. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and 17 other defendants this week are expected to be formally booked at the Fulton County Jail, also known as Rice Street, a hulking, crumbling structure that's garnered a notorious reputation. The sheriff of Fulton County insisting that, despite their high profiles, Trump and the others will be treated like every other defendant booked at this jail.
If you're indicted, then we're going to treat you as though you were indicted here locally. And so we will continue to do fingerprints, mugshots, etc.
What might it look like inside when Trump and the others formally surrender? Retired Fulton County Sheriff's Lieutenant Charles Rambo says normally people who are surrendering come through the facility's front door first. But regardless of which entrances Trump and the others arrive in,
they would be packed down, led to the booking office in the rear. From there, they probably will have to have ties and shoestrings and all those type of things taken. Then from there, the persons would be fingerprinted, given a booking photo.
Donald Trump and the other defendants are expected to be photographed for mugshots, but it's unclear when those pictures will be made public. People familiar with the process tell CNN normally those booked at this jail are searched thoroughly by a jail deputy and at some point given a medical examination and a pre-trial screening to determine if they can sign out on their own recognizance. But it's not clear if Trump or the other high-profile defendants in this case will go through those steps. For a normal defendant, it would take hours to go through those procedures. But with these defendants?
I don't expect Trump to spend hours in this jail because the longer he is, I mean, it's a pain. It's going to be a hassle for the entire sheriff's department, or at least those that are at the jail when the president is there. It's going to be a circus.
If they didn't have bond agreements, Donald Trump and the other defendants might have been held in custody at this jail, which observers say could be a nightmarish experience.
The Rice Street jail is not a pleasant place. It's dirty. It's scary.
Last month, the Justice Department launched a civil rights investigation into the Fulton County Jail following multiple deaths inside the facility. Last year, inmate LaShawn Thompson was found dead in his cell. His family says unsanitary conditions, including insect and lice infestation, contributed to his death.
Even the sheriff agreed it was deplorable conditions, like a third world country.
Even after nearly 2 weeks of seeing wildfire damage, people impacted can barely believe their eyes.
It's hard to take in, just seeing all this devastation. I don't know what to think.
Monday, President Biden visited Maui to see what's been lost and say how the federal government is helping.
The country grieves with you, stands with you, and will do everything possible to help you recover, rebuild, and respect culture and traditions when the rebuilding takes place.
President Biden had said he would not visit until he wouldn't be a hindrance. It's reflective of mixed emotions in Maui. Those who say the official response has been too slow.
I think everyone's a little bit let down at the lack of response from our government.
Those who counter official action has been too fast.
We feel that the government is steamrolling this process without consulting from the leaders of our community.
Meanwhile, challenges remain. At least 114 people died in the fires, with that number expected to rise as about 850 people are still missing. The White House says there are nearly 450 federal search and rescue team members helping, hundreds more federal personnel, and FEMA has made available more than 50,000 meals. Local officials say they are grateful for the help, but want the president to know they see more need for much longer.
It's just a long and winding road ahead of us.
I'm Emily Schmidt, reporting.